So hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk about the new chapter of One Piece, chapter 1156. Previous chapter we saw the backstory of Rocksteady Zebek and we also saw how he formed his crew and many more things about Rocksteady Zebek we got to know in the previous chapter. And this chapter is also going to be very good, I'm just telling you. But before the chapter, let's talk about the cover page of the chapter. The cover page we see Luffy, Zoro, Sanji and Nami, and we see that in the background there is Rayleigh, Roger and Gaban, and there is a reason that they are in this cover page. And here there are straw hats present, but they are very small and they are actually in the backpack of Luffy and his pockets. They are just sitting there. But let's talk about the chapter now. At the start of the chapter we see that Kuja pirates have attacked the kingdom and everyone there is unable to fight them because obviously they are very beautiful and they are unable to fight them in full strength and they are all defeated by the Kuja pirates. After that we see a scene of Kuja pirates on their ship and here we are introduced to Gloriosa, who is currently the Empress of Amazon Lily, and she is also the captain of the Kuja pirates. Another thing that I want to talk about here is Oda definitely has some kind of grudge against the Rocks Pirates women, because definitely we see that how she looked like in the present and how she looks in the future. Here we see that Gloriosa is very beautiful and everyone admires her, but here we also see another character and we are introduced to her whose name is Tritoma, and if you don't know, she is also going to become the future pirate empress. And if you actually don't know, she is the empress that actually was the empress of Amazon Lily before Boa Hancock. But here we are told that even if Gloriosa was actually admired by everyone and was very beautiful, there was someone else who was even more beautiful than her, and it was Shaki. Yes, Shaki is shown here and we see that she looks very similar to Boa Hancock here, and in the future we know that she looks good, so definitely this makes sense that Oda has some grudge against the Rocks Pirates women. Here we are told that Shaki was even more beautiful than Gloriosa and she was also her first mate. But after this we see the Roger Pirates, who are here to actually kidnap Shaki because everyone in the Roger Pirates also likes Shaki and they are fighting over Shaki within each other. But here we also see that Gloriosa also likes Roger, but Roger doesn't like her. After that we see that Shaki actually comes out of a room and then she actually defeats both Roger and Gaban, because obviously they are strong, but right now they are very love struck because Shaki is so beautiful and they are not able to fight in their full strength. After that we see that Shaki talks with Rayleigh and Rayleigh is the only one who is not being very mad here and he is normal. And then we see that Shaki actually winks to Rayleigh and we know what is going to happen in the future, but currently Rayleigh is very shocked. In the background we also see that Roger is trying to watch Shaki, but Gloriosa is telling him that he likes her. The thing is here that I definitely like that Oda is showing actually a different side of Roger, because we have seen Roger being very different in the future and now we are seeing this side of Roger. I definitely thought that Oda might make Roger mostly like Luffy, that he doesn't care about women and everything else, but here Oda is giving Roger a different attitude, which I definitely like very much. After that we see a pirate ship approaching them and both the crews are trying to set sail and escape, but the Kuja pirates are escaping, and when Roger sees that this is Garp ship, they actually start to prepare for the fight and we see Garp forces and Roger forces crash, and we see that Garp is throwing cannonballs at Roger. After that we see Garp using meteor fist and both the crews fighting at full force. Then we see a panel of Roger and Garp fighting at their full force and they are attacking each other, and we see here that Garp is using his fist and Roger is using his sword, and by the time that we are seeing this we know what Garp can do, and time after time we are seeing Garp's aura increase in One Piece. And after that we are also told that Garp, Roger and Rocks are in their youth in the current time, and in the Great Pirate era they will be remembered, but we know Garp and Roger were remembered in the Great Pirate era, but Rock's history was erased by the world government. After that we see that Gloriosa is lovesick like Hancock was, and most probably after this Gloriosa leaves the crew and maybe joins the Rocks Pirates or goes after Roger, something like that. And obviously after that Shaki becomes the pirate empress and she also becomes the captain of the Kuja pirates. Thing is, here we see that how Boa Hancock used to use her beauty, and here similarly the Kuja pirates are using their beauty, and how we see Shaki actually is very beautiful and no one is able to fight her because of that. And the thing is, just imagine if she had Boa Hancock's devil fruit right now. I mean, her beauty actually works in her favor very much like Boa Hancock's devil fruit, but instead of turning people into stone, it just makes them more weaker than they are actually. After that we see Elbaf, where we see Ida's tavern, and here we find out that Loki was most probably trying to take a ship and go into the sea, but he actually drowned. And here we see that Ida is actually scolding the captain of the ship who gave the ship to Loki, and while he was drowning he wasn't even helping him, and Herald is trying to stop her. And after that we see that Ida is still very good towards Loki, and she tells her that after losing his mother and his dad is not even with him most of the time and he is busy, and Ida asks Loki that if he would like to come and stay with him, but both Loki and Harudin actually say no to this. And here Loki actually calls Ida an old hag, and both Herald and Harudin get angry, but we say that Ida still thinks that they are all cute. And here we find out that Loki actually wants to leave Elbaf and go into the seas and be free like Rox is, and we are told that every time Rox visits Elbaf to try to recruit Herald, Loki actually attempts to join Rox's crew, but every time Rox shoos him away and does not let Loki join his crew. Then Loki says that he wants to go and follow Rox to the sea because he hates everyone here because they are very weak and no one is strong here. After that we see the scene of Hachinosu, and we are told that it has been several months since Rox actually took over Hachinosu. And here we see that someone is actually trying to intrude Hachinosu because he actually wants to join the Rox crew, and everyone around him actually tells him that he is not going to be able to join them because they are all stars of evil. And the more he defeats everyone here, and the more he approaches the city, and they will get more angry then. But we see that the intruder actually grabs the head of the person who is telling all this to him, and then he throws him. And then we find out that this man is known as the Kyo the Wicked, and he is known like this because he is actually the rival of Golden Lion Shiki, and in the future he will be known as Silver Axe. After that we are told that like Rox has gathered so many strong people around him, so many of the other strong people who actually are very strong and are actually attracted towards Rox because he has gathered many strong people, and that's why they want to go and join Rox's crew. But after that we see the skull in the Hachinosu island, and we find out that this was not the skull before, and it became a skull after Rox actually punched 2 holes in the structure there, and then it looked like a skull. And inside the skull we see that Rox saying to his crew that he wants 2 devil fruits in particular, and he thinks one of them is actually in Elbaf, and its true power will only show when King Herald actually eats the devil fruit. So this is little bit of a theory time for me. So here we see that Rox particularly wants 2 devil fruit, and he thinks one of them is in Elbaf, and he says that only Herald when he eats it can activate the devil fruit, but we will talk about it later. First, why does Rox particularly need 2 devil fruit, and is the reason for that he can also use 2 devil fruit like his son Blackbeard? And maybe it is the reason that Blackbeard actually inherited this power from Rox, because this power is actually genetical. Here Rox says that one of the devil fruit might be in Elbaf, and the thing is, we know that there was a legendary devil fruit in Elbaf, and we know that Loki has currently eaten it, and after eating it he is calling himself a sun god. So are the powers of this devil fruit actually that similar to the devil fruit, to the Gomu Gomu no Mi, that he is calling himself the sun god? And maybe it is possible that the originally Gomu Gomu no Mi was actually the legendary fruit of Elbaf, and it was actually stolen. And if you ask me, stolen by whom? We see in this chapter where we see that King Herald is being killed by his own soldiers. After that we see that some person is approaching a chest, and most probably it contains the legendary devil fruit of Elbaf, and maybe it is a holy knight, because we know King Herald had some connections with the holy knight. Maybe that holy knight actually stole the devil fruit, and it was being transported to the land of the holy land, the Marijua, and transported definitely by who's who we know that Shanks went and actually defeated him and took the devil fruit, and Luffy currently has that Gomu Gomu no Mi. I mean, it is possible that but there is another possibility that maybe this devil fruit is actually a different devil fruit, and maybe Loki after eating it thinks that he's a sun god because his powers are like a sun god's power. I mean, there is another thing that here we see Rock saying that only after Herald eats the devil fruit it will activate. I mean, definitely it is not about a giant eating the devil fruit, it is something special about Herald. This is the first time in devil fruit that we are seeing a singular bloodline or a single bloodline being referred to as something special for a devil fruit particularly. I mean, is it possible that this original devil fruit is actually being used by Loki right now, and we don't even know if Loki is able to activate the devil fruit and use its powers, because we haven't seen Loki use his powers yet. We don't know what powers does he have. Is it possible that maybe the ancient bloodline could only use the devil fruit, and maybe it is that Loki can use the devil fruit, and maybe that is the reason that Herald could activate the devil fruit because of his ancient bloodline? But we will have to wait to find it out. But let's continue the chapter now. After that we see Captain John, who tells Rox that they also have to find the Galila, and if you don't remember, we saw that King Herald and Jarul were actually talking about the Galila, that they were shipwrights who were very massive, and they were frozen somewhere and captured by the world government. After that we see Charlotte Linlin, or future Big Mom, and here she is saying that after even trying all her connections, she was not able to find a army of frozen giants, and we know that her connection line is very strong and very big, and even in the future it becomes even bigger. After that we see Edward Newgate, or Whitebeard, saying that even if we find them, they will be corpses because they will be all dead because of being in the ice. And after that we see Stroisen, who we know that is actually the one who actually manipulated Big Mom, and he's saying that even if we find them, there is no way to coming back to life. After that we see a new Rocks Pirates member whose name is Pirate Barble, and he's a catfish fishman, and he is saying that even if they come back to life, there is no reason that they will listen to them. He is talking about the Galilas here, and then we see actually Kaido even says that they can just use their strength to force them to away, and he's also saying that they can also do this with King Herald. But after that Rox actually gets angry at Kaido because Rox considers King Herald as his friend. Then we see that Rox actually kicks Kaido, and then after we are told that the Rocks Pirates are talking about it, that the crew of themselves, like very strong people, will definitely implode at some point of the time, but they say that this time is not that right time. And Captain John says that after they cash in a little more, they can fight, and they actually then after that they can implode and the Rocks Pirate can be destroyed. And after that we see that the Rocks Pirates have become a crew, and we see that they want to defeat the Holy Land and defeat the world government, and they want to destroy everything because this is their destiny. And after that we see a great panel of all the Rocks Pirates together, and this panel looks very cool. And this is the end of the chapter. But at the end we see a editor's note, and here editor is asking us if we think that Oda is going to show us the event of the God Valley in the next chapter. And to tell the truth, I do not think that he is going to, because people have forgotten whose backstory it is. This is Loki's backstory, and we do not think that the God Valley incident needs to be shown here. Maybe Oda will show some parts of the God Valley incident that we do not know about, and after that we find out that Rox actually died in the God Valley incident. Then we cut back to Loki in Elbaf, and Loki finds about Rox's death. But that's what I think. Tell me what you think in the comment sections below, and if you like the video, drop down a like, subscribe to my channel, and keep theorizing.